you guys remember Sailor Moon? It's a show about an 8th grader named Usagi, who has the power of something in space. I'll have you know that I was a huge fan of the show, and to let you know, my name is Lance Sterling, and I'm a member of CIA, where if something goes bad, like if someone starts a war and they're all that, I'm here to help. I love watching Sailor Moon a lot. As well for my kids, I do not let them watch that show because of one, that resembles that much kids stuff. There is the shower scene reference in the show, but my friends actually freak out when they see a bath scene in an anime. I have a favorite episode of Sailor Moon called Usagi's Hard Lesson. There was a reason I had to watch that. My favorite part about the episodes was one of the characters, Mikan, or Shinori, is in the shower and gets attacked by Dragon Ball and a rip-off character. I always rewind that scene over and over again, mainly because it was so hot. Well, to be honest, I don't watch it in front of my kids. Do you really want to have your kid grow up to be a rated R movie star? Well, I don't want that happening, ever. There is a lost episode of this show that has kind of a funny throughout this broadcast. It talked about something called Bananas Pajamas. What was that even this? One day I was chilling on my couch watching some Fanboy and Chum Chum. My kids came into my bedroom, asked if they could play some PlayStation All-Stars or Battle Royale for their PS3. I told them no because I was about to watch some high school DxD. I live in a mansion where a good friend named Walter Beckett, who lives right next door to me, by the way. My children are adopted. I kicked them out of the living room and sent them to the playroom. I called Walter to see if he'd come over and watch some anime. He said yes, and then he arrived in about 5 minutes, probably because he was doing some few chores before leaving the house. I don't know if he was the father or not because his mother was killed. He probably had been living alone anyways. I turned on the TV and went to Hulu. While scrolling through the TV selection, I came across something that a Sailor Moon episode. I found an under episode called Usagi's Hard Lesson Chapter 2. I thought Walter and I would watch it because the episode looked interesting. The intro played, but it was done in Go Anime, now also known as Vond. The episode starts off with Usagi on the couch watching the Wiggles. Weird, Australia would have likely sued for that. Then she shut off the TV and began to walk. Usagi was walking down the street until she saw what looked like Mr. Bean. She was acting like a homeless man because she needed $1 million to play the Arctic Dogs. Not a bad movie, but giving it some money. Now I know Arctic Dogs. It's a movie where a fox named Swifty just wants to be a flippin' UPS driver, but I found out it was a cute movie. Usagi gives him about $50 and then she walks down to her school to take a snapshot. This was strange because iPhones didn't exist until 2007. Maybe Japan wanted to make a change to see what the future, and the time tell card appeared and it said 5 hours later. The next scene then cuts to Mikan's house and it showed her bedroom with the sound of the shower running. I noticed that she kept the door locked. How sweet of her. Me and Walter knew she was enjoying her shower in peace. While showering, she was singing a song about bananas in pajamas, and it sounded like this. Bananas in pajamas are coming down the stairs. Bananas in pajamas are coming down in pairs. Bananas in pajamas are eating Taco Bell. Bananas in pajamas, they will see you if they smell bananas in pajamas. They've punched a kid in the face. Bananas in pajamas run fast at a good pace. This was something. She kept singing in the shower for most of the episode, but there was another scene as well. The next scene shows Mikan in the shower, but it didn't last forever. It cuts to Usagi at school. She was doing a math test because she wanted to get caught up on her homework. She doesn't have time to do it at home. Genius, but then the credits rolled. Obviously it was short. Walter decided to go home after that. The next morning I got a knock on the door. It was the police officer at the front door asking if I was Lance Sterling. I said yes, and I asked him if I did something wrong. He claimed that I wasn't in trouble, but they claimed they were looking for Mikan because she just made Africa lose a lot of water. I told her that she lives in Japan and sent the international police over there. After that, I heard what sounded like chatting. I went upstairs to see what in tarnation was going on. When I got up there, I saw Captain Hero, Toot, Foxy Love, Princess Carla, and the Rhino chatting while being in towels. Captain Hero wasn't quite in a towel, he was just staring. Just then, they stared directly at me, singing Bananas Pajamas song, but they sang it in the style from a lost episode sang to me once, and this is how it went. Bananas in pajamas are coming down the stairs. Bananas in pajamas are coming down in pairs. Bananas in pajamas are watching you sleep at night. Bananas in pajamas, so don't turn on the light. Bananas in pajamas had got to murder on their clothes. Bananas in pajamas eat eyes and human toes. Bananas in pajamas are taking over the U.S. Bananas in pajamas serving flesh on plates. Bananas in pajamas own people for illegal treatment of fruit. Bananas in pajamas, that's not a man in suit. Bananas in pajamas are coming your way soon. Bananas in pajamas are gonna be in your room. The yellow shadow isn't indeed quite real. The planets are coming and they will consider you veal. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. This is the time of evolution and they'll be having you for lunch. Bananas in pajamas are trying to take over the trailer park. Bananas in pajamas, love is an aardvark. Get out of my house, I yelled. What even was this? Just then there was another sound, and I went downstairs to see Sailor Moon raiding my fridge. I asked what she was doing in my house, and she said that she ran out of milk and wanted to borrow one of my jugs of milk. I claimed okay, and then brought myself some more milk. And that, my little pretties, was Sailor Moon Usagi's Hard Lesson, Chapter 2. A Sailor Moon Lost episode Funnypasta, written by Ashley Armbruster. Well, Ashley Armbruster, I want to thank you so much for the story. Now, let's get to the episode itself. Now, this is chapter 2. I don't think I've read chapter 1 yet, but if I could find it, I might. Or maybe it's just called chapter 2. I don't even know, but, that's just something I'm going to be completely honest. And, I'm going to be honest with the review. Now, this one was quite funny. I did keep myself from laughing this time. But there's a few problems that I do have with the story. And I'm only going to be honest. There was only a few negatives I have to say. Now, first of all, I would have to say that the grammar was really good. I could definitely say that the grammar was really good, and then there was sentence structure was good, paragraph structure was awesome, the concept was just flat out amazing, and everything about it was just flat out awesome. Like, it was a really good curry pasta in a funny pasta in the sense. But however, though, there is a few negatives that I do have to say about this episode. Now, for one thing I could definitely say was that the sentence structuring worked out beautifully. The grammar, the paragraph structuring, the flow of the story went out beautifully. Like, it actually went really well. Like, that's actually pretty impressive when you come to think of it. Like, I'm looking at this, and it's just flat out amazing. Like, the author of himself just did a very good job. Now, Ashley Armbruster, you did a really good job with the story, but there are a few things that I would like you to work on, at least for the future. Now, one thing I could definitely say what could be improved a little bit, that would probably have to be, what is it? Oh, yeah. With the episode itself, going on with all the Sailor Moon characters doing the things that they're doing, and etc., etc., etc. Now, the thing that kind of made me not want to, like the story would have to be, what was it? Oh, yeah. There was a part in the story that kind of made me just, I could definitely say that, you did come up with something a little different, which I'm not going to deny that. You actually did come up with something a bit different. But to me, the story itself just sounds really, how do I put this? A little bit bland. Like, I'm not trying to sound rude, but, there were parts of the story that was pretty bland in that case. And, that's kind of disappointing a little bit, so to speak. I'm not trying to sound rude, but I'm actually being the honest truth right here because, I'm looking at this story and I have to agree, this story was actually pretty good, despite it being a funny pasta. But the thing is that, why would there be all these characters, in there and stuff? But I could definitely say you did come up with something a little different. The one thing I could definitely say was the usage of characters. Like, I'm not trying to sound rude. I understand you did try to take inspiration from Matthew Bumford's stories, and I'm not going to deny that. If you did take inspiration from it, that's fine. As long as you're not ripping off any stories, then you should be fine. But this story was just... it was absolutely pretty awesome. And I could definitely say you do know how to make a good troll pasta as well as Matthew Bumford does. Now, the only thing I would change is, have a little backstory behind it. Like, a little bit. Like, why is it that, how did this episode, came out or something like that? Because in that way, it would be a very good explanation. Like, maybe an interview or something. At least that way, it'd be make the story more understandable and making more sense to why this episode occurred, so to speak. Now, I'm not trying to sound rude. I'm just trying to get you more motivated so you can continue on to do better with your stories in the future. But don't get me wrong. This story was actually pretty good. And I could definitely say you put a lot of time and effort into it, which is very good, to be honest. Now, the grammar was good, the sentence structuring, the paragraph structuring, all that was good. Well, one thing I could definitely say was that, the ending, I understand what you were trying to do, but it just wasn't very that satisfying. Maybe the ending could be fixed up a little better. Like, maybe the author could find out, the protagonist himself or herself could find out, why this episode appeared or something. Because in that way, this story would be a lot more understandable. But it will always, be... In that way, the episode would turn out to be pretty good in this case. At least to me, that is. But anyways, like I'm going to say, and like I always continue to say, this is simply my own personal opinion, and if you disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas, or funny pastas in this case, and this is simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating of the story would have to be, I'm going to give this one a 8.5 out of 10. I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10 because the story was actually pretty a good funny pasta, and it was pretty interesting, in my opinion, and there was, a lot of great stuff to it, but the ending just needs to be fixed up a little bit, and, the usage of characters were okay. Like, I could definitely say it was pretty good. I understand it's meant to be a funny pasta. I know it's not meant to be taken seriously, but, it's still a pretty well done episode. But I could definitely say that, you did take inspiration from Matthew Bumford, which, as long as you're not ripping off any stories, then you should be okay. And that's something I can definitely say. But, I could definitely tell that there was a lot of effort put into the story. And I could definitely tell that there was a lot included in it, which is pretty good if you ask me. But the ending just needs to be revised just a bit, because then that way it'd be a lot easier to, read, basically. Well, a lot more better ending. Sorry, I was tired, but, the ending could be fixed up just a little bit. But then other than that, this episode was actually pretty good. Anyways, what did you all think about this, creepypasta? What do you think about this creepypasta? Did you all enjoy, or funny pasta? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better. Leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're brand new here to this channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload, so that way you will not miss an upload. And like always, please roll the outro, because I'm out of here, and I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace out.